So hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Office Add-in Community Call of September. And today we have several topics to cover, and here is the agenda. I also send it into the chat channel. So we have several topics, including the PowerPoint preview APIs and Ribbon 1.1 API updates, and also the Word API updates. And also we have a new NNA sample for Outlook event-based add-ins. And also we are going to announce the Visual Studio Code extension for Office add-ins public preview, and also have some updates about the WXP add-ins with the Unified manifest for Microsoft 365 public preview. Okay, so the presenters of today would be Esther, who is a senior product manager of Microsoft, and also Wang, who is a principal product manager of Microsoft, and also Steve Jin, who is a senior product manager of Microsoft, and also David, who is a senior technical writer of Microsoft, and me myself, who is a product manager, and also Luyi Han, who is a senior product manager of Microsoft. Okay. So let's go to the first topic, PowerPoint preview APIs and Ribbon 1.1 API updates. So I'm going to give control to Esther. Let me see.
I think I have it yet.
Yeah. Okay. You have that control?
I don't know. I said take control. It's waiting for approval, so you might have to approve me.
Let me try. Well, I don't see that one, but I can turn the slides for you. So you can just, let's get started.
Great. Awesome. Hi, I'm Esther. I think I've met a few of you already for individual calls, so it's great to see everyone, but I have some great news to share. We don't give a lot of updates in PowerPoint, but there are a few PowerPoint APIs that are now in preview. If you've been on our preview page, you probably saw that we have APIs now on preview. So definitely check it out. These APIs are available on the builds listed below. And just a reminder that in order to access them, you'll have to reference the beta library. So Mingjia, next slide, please. The first one that we're announcing is custom XML parts. This one has been highly requested to add data to the slides and to be able to read similar to text. So there's a bunch of functionality here that lets you to get set a URI, also insert the custom XML part, delete the custom XML part at the presentation, shape, slide layout, and slide master. We also introduced custom XML part collection. And so this is for a collection of slides or collections. Sorry, was that a question? I think maybe someone was unmuted. So collections or collections of slides. And so you can see that that functionality is available as well. We can go to the next slide. Another API set that we introduced is one around hyperlinks. So being able to read hyperlinks and get hyperlinks from a presentation is now available in preview. And then lastly, non-PowerPoint related, but sort of horizontal, we have Ribbon API requirements at 1.1 updates. So before, there were some platforms available, some not available for certain hosts, but now we have all of our Ribbon APIs. This is for enabling and disabling app commands available across platforms. So this is on web, Win32, and Mac. You'll be able to set that to enable and disable Ribbon buttons on Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. And that is all for me. So thanks, everyone. I hope you'll test these out, and please share feedback if you have any.
Okay, so the next topic is Word API update. Can you hear me? Hi,
Yeah,
Mingjia,
I can hear you.
can
Yeah,
I take
I think I was
control?
muted. Yeah. Yeah, of
Okay.
course.
I just take the control.
Yeah.
But still waiting for approval. Can
Yeah,
you just show the slides for me?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you very much. So today, Steve and I will share some updates for Word specifically. Thanks to Esther. She just mentioned that Ribbon API is now available across platforms for WXP. So specifically, I will talk about the Word support for this part because this is one of the top asks from the community. People want to control the state of the ribbon buttons. So now we support it for desktop and Word Online. So there are three things you want to do. One is that you must enable the shared runtime, and also you need to config a default state for the ribbon button in the manifest, as mentioned in the middle. So you can control whether the button is by default disabled or enabled. And finally, in the code, you actually can programmatically control the states of these buttons by the runtime code. I will show a demo here. Next page, please. So please play the video for me. Thanks, Mingjia. So in the video here, on the left side, here are a couple of code snippets here. We try to catch the event of the content control enter and content control exit. So when the user enters in content control, we want to enable the ribbon button. So as you can see from the code here, when enable the button, we tell the ribbon request update that we want to enable that, and the show task pane ribbon button is enabled once the user gets into the specific content control. And of course, when the user leaves a content control, we can still catch the event and control the state of that button to be disabled. So this is the update for Ribbon API support for Word. Now, if you are in CC channel and Word Online, it should be already there. And please have a try and provide us with feedbacks. And I'll hand over to Steve, who will share more news about shortcut keys.
All right, thanks, Yun. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Cool. Thank you, and hello everyone. I'm Steve Jin. I'm excited to introduce a new feature currently in preview for Word, keyboard shortcut support. So this feature enhances accessibility and meets regulatory requirements in many regions, especially for the products targeting the government clients. So we initially launched the keyboard shortcut support in Excel, and now we are expanding it to Word. This feature is implemented as a requirement set. If you are familiar with how it works in Excel, you will find the process in Word quite similar and straightforward. You will need to define your shortcuts with their actions in a JSON file, and then include the extension override in the add-ins manifest, and then point it to that JSON file. And in your code, you need to call the Office Action Associate function to associate the keyboard shortcuts to your functionality. So this is quite straightforward. And then right now it's in preview, and then if you want to try it, so you can start trying that in the Word 32, as long as you have this build number or later than that. So next, let me show a quick demo in a Word document. During the demo, you see how it handles conflicts when the multiple add-ins or your shortcut is conflict with the host app's shortcut. So let me share my screen. So in this document, you cannot see me typing the keyboard, but just pretend you can see that. So when I press Control Alt down, that hides the task pane. And then if I press Control Alt up, it shows the task pane. And if I press Control Alt B, that will just insert just text into the canvas. And then for that conflict handling, in this demo, we just use the existing host apps shortcut, for example, Control Q. Let me come back to canvas, Control Q. Then the user will see this dialog. And this experience is quite similar to Excel, that it will list all the existing shortcuts for that specific keyboard shortcuts. And there is an outgoing hyperlink to a support article to tell user what happens for this dialog. And then it has the instruction for user to reset the preference. So simply this is just the functionality that I demo. And in the code, like I said, in the manifest, you need to just include this extension override for the JSON file that where you define your shortcut and their actions. And then in your code, you just need to call this function action associated with the action that you define in the JSON file, and then put your code inside this function. So this is just like that. Let me stop sharing. And Mingjia, could you go back to the slide? Yeah, thank you. So since now this feature is in preview, we're inviting everybody who are interested in this feature to participate in the test. So I put a short URL for the sign up form there, and then you can just go ahead to start testing. And then your feedback and the comments and the suggestions are available to us. So that's all. Thank you.
Ready for me to go? Okay, I'll go ahead and start. So hi, everyone. My name is David Chesnut. I work on the Outlook platform team, and I am going to share a demo with you of a new sample that we just put out that shows how you can use nested app authentication from within Outlook events. So in your event-based code in Outlook add-ins, how you can use the Microsoft Authentication Library to get the signed-in user, to get a token from them that you can call Microsoft Graph with. This has been something that's been asked about, particularly from, I know, developers out there that are trying to move off of using Exchange Online tokens, because those are getting deprecated soon. This is the path forward, is to go to use nested app authentication. So let me share my screen. Let's get this out of the way. Okay. All right, so I am currently signed in as this test account at Advance. And basically what this add-in does is when I send a new email, it's going to get the username of whoever signed in and just put it into a signature. So I'll go ahead and create a new email. And then you can see here it ran and just puts in a little simple signature from the desk of Advance. For the most part, this is pretty straightforward. I think one of the trickier scenarios to take care of is if the user hasn't consented or if the admin hasn't consented, then the Microsoft Authentication Library has to pop up a dialog saying, hey, are you okay with this? And you can't do that from inside events in Outlook. So the workaround for that is we can redirect them to the task pane. So I can show how that works here. So I'm going to create a new app registration because this one's already consented to. You can see I have quite a few here because I've been doing a lot of testing. So let's create a new one called consent 8. Choose my accounts. You need to create the SPA single page application redirect, which will be the RK-multi-hub. And then you put in your domain. This is the secret ingredient, I guess you could say. It says, hey, we're using nested app authentication, and we're expecting to be using brokers to behind the scenes to make this all work. So I'm going to register that. And that's all you need to do to create an app registration, which associates your add-in with Azure and the Microsoft Identity Platform so that you can get Enter ID tokens. Okay, so now I'm going to take this application ID of this registration, and I'm going to go put it into my code. So over here in VS Code, I've got my add-in running. I'm going to go ahead and stop it from running. Let's replace this ID with the new one. And go ahead and rebuild the project. And what we're going to do is with this new client ID, the user is going to be required to consent to that. We'll see. Usually this builds pretty quickly. If it doesn't, then I'll just walk through the code here. So I guess while we're waiting for that build, I'll just point out like all the code is in this launch event JS file. This is where event code is. And I have two events. There's on new message compose handler, on new appointment compose handler. So this will handle both creating new messages and creating new appointments in the calendar. And basically all these events do when they get called is they call set signature. And that's the code that's going to basically get the username. And I'll show you in a moment how that actually goes and gets the username using Nest App authentication. It then sets the signature. And if anything goes wrong, it's going to notify the user to sign in. That's the part I was going to show you. That's the workaround. Inside get username. Well, first of all, let me point out. So we are importing from this @Azure MSAL browser. So all of this SSO Nest App authentication code is coming from MSAL. And we want to import this one function here, create nestable public client application. That's the one object we need to work with NAA. And of course, we also import this auth object from our auth config, which just has our client ID and the authority. So when we initialize, we want to create this nestable public client application, passing that auth object. And once it's created, we'll have our PCA object. From that point forward, we can just call this PCA with anything we need. So like in get username, we make sure we're initialized. We create a token request object, which has our scopes. This could be incremental scope too, which is kind of cool about Nest App authentication. So like here, we just need user read, open ID and profile. But say in another event, you needed something to do, mail, mailbox permissions or something, you could put those scopes in here. And then if the user hasn't consented to those yet, they'll be prompted to do that. We then call acquire token silent on the PCA, passing that token request. And that should return us a user account. Off of that user account, there will be an access token, which we can later call graph with to get information with a fetch call. And then from the response from graph, we can pull out the display name, and that's what we return. That's what's getting put in the signature. Now, if something goes wrong, basically, we're just going to throw an error. So if we don't get an access token, we throw an error. If acquired token silent throws an error, we rethrow that error. And I just want to point out, like, this is different. If you've looked at the other nested app auth samples, what you do when this fails is you would then call acquire token pop-up. So you can get the consent, because typically that's why this would fail, is because you need consent. But in this case, we can't do that because we're not inside in the event code. We can't pop up dialog boxes. So instead, we just throw an error. And then, excuse me, we would call this notify user to sign in. And in notify user to sign in, we basically create a notification message that redirects them to the task pane. So let's run this because it looks like we get rebuilt. And then, well, give me one more second here. There we go. Come on. All right, so let's close this. Send a new email. Okay, so now we get, says, hey, please sign in using the task pane to start using the Office add-in sample. So we'll click on sign in over here. opens our task pane. In the task pane, we can provide an option for the user to sign in. Now we get the pop-up and we can say, hey, you need to consent to these permissions. So I'll go ahead and accept those. Now, I suppose at this point, the sample could have went ahead and inserted the signature, but that's not in there. Instead, we'll just have to create a new one. So create a new email, and now it's working. So we've consented to the new app ID, and now we're using SSO with NAA from inside new emails. Let's see, a couple things to point out besides that. Oh, so in the Webpack config, I want to point out when you're running in Outlook on Windows, it's using the V8 engine to run the JavaScript. And there is an incompatibility with the hot reload from Webpack that'll cause it to fail to load. And so I just want to point out, like in this Webpack, this is how you would want to configure if you want to import MSAL into your event code and get it all working. You just need to have this entry for the launch event, so you can load this launch event JS. There's also another one for commands, which is working with the browser. And then here at the bottom, you want to turn the hot reload off. Make sure that's at defaults, and then it will load successfully. So I just want to point that out. That'll be useful because I know some folks out there have been getting stuck with that because they try to put MSAL into the launch event JS, but then it won't load. And it's because of how Webpack's building. So you just need to make these configuration changes there. Let's see, I think that's everything I need to show. So I'll check if there's any questions in the chat. So go check out the sample. I'll put this link in the chat so you have it. It's Outlook event SSO NAA in our Office Add-in Samples repo. And also I'll just point out, should be down the README. Yeah, so there's also links to additional NAA stuff like the blogs that have the timelines for the exchange token shutdown, if you're interested in that, and additional documentation and so on. All right, so thank you, everyone.
Thank you, David. Okay, so I will share my screen again. All right. So up next is myself. And so today I'm going to bring a topic that's also still about the Visual Studio Code extension, and the official name of the extension is Office Add-ins Development Kit, and it is now available in public preview. So if you go to the VS Code Marketplace, you can get access to that extension already. So again, this extension we target to help developers to have a quick start, initializing Office add-in projects with clicks on UI, and also helps you to quick auto install the dependencies and provide an easy preview. And also when you make code changes, you can see them instantly in your side-loaded add-in. And also there is a sample gallery inside the extension, so you can get access to the samples to discover the add-in capabilities inside Visual Studio Code. And yeah, so here is the link that you can get access to this extension in the marketplace. So let me check it. Yes, yeah. So this is the Visual Studio Marketplace. So here is the new extension. So when you install this, you can see it. You can directly install this in your Visual Studio Code. And also here are some introductions on how can you get started with the tool and how you can create your add-in and configure your add-ins with the tool. So just check this and have a try. And also we have another way to get access is inside the IDE. So here, when you have your Visual Studio Code, you can click on this extension tab, and yeah, here in the search bar, you can put Office add-ins there. Then you can find our extension at the top. Yeah, so this is the one. So you can just click install, and so you can have access here in your activity bar. And then you try to create a new add-in with the widget, or you can view samples in our sample galleries for the sample we provided.
Mingjia, excuse me. Mingjia,
Oh.
excuse me, we cannot see your screen.
Oh, you can not see my screen?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Let's see. I think it's dropped. Right. So what about now?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, I just don't know when it gets dropped. So I'm going to show this two ways. So one is from this VS Code marketplace here. You can get extension and install it in your IDE. And also another way we can do that is from the web page, the marketplace in your web page. So you can also install it from here. And when you install this extension, you can just, let me see. Yeah, so when you have this extension, you can activate this extension in your activity bar on this left side, and then you can try these functionalities here. For example, you can create your new add-ins with the templates, or you can view the samples in the sample galleries. And to get started with one of the samples, choose one to learn more about the capabilities, and also you can create with this sample project. Okay, so yeah, so if I have a chance to try out the extension and share your feedback with us, and here you can see more information about it. So we have a blog announcement about it, and also the MS Learn documentation is also updated about this new extension. And if you meet any problems, you can create a GitHub issue with this link. And also, when you try this, we welcome you share your experience with us through this survey. All right. So yeah, so I think that is all for my part. And so next one is Louis. So do you want to share a screen?
Yeah, okay, let me share my screen.
Yeah. All right.
Hi, everyone. Can you see my screen? Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm
Yes.
Luyi Han. Yeah, I want to give you information for the WXP Add-ins with the unified manifest for Microsoft 365 public preview information. So if you happen to join the community call in March, you may still remember that at the time, like we introduced the developer private preview for this feature. So with all the helps with the developer join the private preview, which help us to locate, test and locate some issues. We are excited to tell you that we are about to start the public preview for this feature. Maybe let me give you a recap about what is the feature. So basically, we say like with the unified manifest, we provide you the ability to build an app that can work across all the 365 apps, including Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Teams and Outlook. So it means that you can build one solution and you can start with any application and you can run across all M365. This also means that no matter it's like if you already have solutions in, for example, in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Teams, or Outlook, and you want to combine them into single solution, single app, and to reduce the deploy effort for your customers. And also you say like you already have apps in Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Teams, Outlook, and you want to extend to other hosts. Or you say like I just want to update the manifest from XML to JSON with the unified manifest to get prepared for future. Or you say I want to prepare for the integration of Copilot. So yes, because the unified manifest is the foundation for integration of Copilot extension. So with all this like possible direction you want to go with your apps, so we can you can achieve with the unified manifest. And also for your customers, like they will also be able to discover and acquire the apps with the new unified store, and also they can just install one endpoint and available in all places. And for your admins, it means like they can with the unified manifest app, we can provide them like the app level management and also user level, which means like you will reduce the chance to be disabled by the tenant admin because the whole add-in store was disabled, because we will give you a per app management. So basically this is like what we are providing with the unified manifest. So this feature has been available. I think that be general available for Teams and Outlook for a while, and we are working on to bring this solution to Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Yeah. And as we already start for the private preview, now we are about to start the public preview. This was new in upcoming public preview. So at the beginning of the public preview, we will start with text pane and content, and the customer function will be supported later. And we will still provide you the toolkit that will help you get started with the development or convert your existing XML solution to JSON unified manifest. And also with this public preview, we will provide you the test not only with desktop but also with web clients. And for your what's more important is for your end users. It's like now they are all the users, if they have joined the CC Insider for Windows desktop, or they have joined the first release for web, they will be able to get the Office client that can support the unified manifest. And still, admin can still central deploy with the line of business. And currently, for now, we haven't ready for support you to publish to app source. But this we will support you to do that when this feature will generally available to all our customers. So this is what you can get for the public preview. So we are super welcome. Like if you have the plan to start the unified manifest, let's say in the coming few months, we are super welcome you to join the public preview, and we will offer, as Microsoft, we will offer you the necessary technical assistant to help you on board with this unified solution. So if you have plan and you have interest to join the public preview, please feel free to visit this link or scan this code to sign up for the form, and we will get in touch with you soon. And looking forward to getting connected with you. Okay, thank you.
Right. Thank you, Luyi. So I'm going to share my screen again. And oh, sorry. Here is the part I get. All right. Okay, so I think that is all for all the content we prepared for today, and we're going to the Q&A session, and we have several questions today in the survey on the website. And so for the first one is about the events, the on message read with customer header and on message read with customer attachments events on Outlook. So is there a timeline when the events will be in preview on other platforms? And the answer from the product team is that these events on other platforms are already in our backlog and are coming soon. So please stay tuned for the updates. Okay, so next question. Yeah. So the next question is about some functionality gaps between Outlook.com add-ins and Office.js. And this question is specifically asking about the context menu on the Outlook. So when right-clicking an email show configured message read add-ins in the menu. And the answer to this question is that we don't have any plans to allow web add-ins to be accessible via a context menu currently, but we would like to learn more about your scenario. So if you are in the call, please leave a message in chat, or you can submit a feature request at this link. So this is the feature request forum of Office add-ins. Okay. So next one is a very long question, and the summary of the question is about just the submission, the Excel add-in submission to Partner Center, and here are some process about the Partner Center's question. So the question is about I just copy the link and put it in my SaaS offer setup and publish it. And there was a single app source offer for my add-in that will be transactable. Is my understanding correct? And so for this answer, because it's for a submission process, so the product team would recommend you to check this related document through this link. So you can in this documentation, you can see that how you can plan a SaaS offer for the commercial marketplace. So, and if you have additional questions about the Publish Center, you can also publish the questions in this partner community forum. And the next question is about the SaaS accelerator and the SaaS transactable offer. And also I've been working with getting SSO working for my add-in, so which I think is referred to as authentication. And I think I will need to figure out how to get authorization working. So only those folks who have purchased the transactable apps on AppSource can use it. And can you provide some guidance on how to implement this? And the answer of this question is that there are 2 points. So one is for the single sign-on authentication, and you can refer to this official documentation to implementing an SSO for Office add-in with this link. And the second point is about the authorization via SaaS fulfillment APIs. So you can check the second link for this Microsoft SaaS Fulfillment APIs, which allows you to verify subscription status. Right. So the next one is when I submit my Excel add-in to Partner Center, it says provide any critical testing instruments, including task counts, license keys, and task credentials. Failure to do so results in automatic rejection. Once I get authorization working for my transactable app, is there some sort of a way to provide a backdoor so that I can give that info to the Partner Center certification team? So this question is about the I think it's about the certification process. And the answer to this is that you can set up a test account and add the necessary information to your critical test instructions. And here is a reference to this question. Right. And the next one is that I have uploaded all my Excel add-in this folder to my Azure subscription storage account blob container. And the question is that should it only contain a subset of the folder files? The location does work. I am not sure how to secure this location. And the answer to this is that yes, uploading your Excel add-in distribution files to your Azure subscription storage account blob container is an appropriate and common practice. However, there's no way to prevent from other people getting as the location of this manifest are public, so they can be accessed by others. And the last question is about the event-based activation in Outlook. Add-ins don't work for end users who acquire the add-in directly. Is there a timeline for when this restriction will be removed? If not, how can we check whether an admin has installed the add-in or not to show a piece of information? And for this question, we have already reached out to the owner team, and the team is investigating on this question. And I also see the similar question in the chat channel, so I will follow up on these questions and will post the answer with the community blog updates. And also, if the chat is not cleared, I will also post it after this community call in the chat channel. All right. So if you are new to Office add-ins, you can check all those links for our documentation, quick starts, script lab samples, and also the Microsoft 365 developer programs, and as well as the Office scripts with all those links. So you can check this useful information to get started with your Office add-ins development. And also, if you have questions and you want to engage with the team, you can go to these links. And the first one is for technical questions about Office add-ins, for example, how to implement what kind of feature or some other questions, you can go to these two links to get some discussions or answers. And also, if you encounter a product box, you can go to this GitHub page to submit an issue there. And if you have the feature requests and ideas, you can go to this M365 Dev suggestions forums to submit your requests and ideas. And also, you can send a smile from inside Microsoft 365 apps. And also, we have a series of community calls within the Microsoft 365 developer community. So if you have so just feel free to check all those links if you have the similar requirements for these other frameworks, and so you can find some useful information to help with your development. So yeah, just feel free to click on those links and check what they have there. All right, so I think that is all for today, and thank you all for participating in the community call. And the recording will be available in a couple of days in our YouTube channel, and you can also follow us on Twitter. And next call would be October 9th at the same time. And so thank you all, and have a nice rest of the day. Goodbye.